Well, good to be with you again for another Saturday of working with ourselves in a different processes that arise with what life puts in our plate and also what we put in our own plate naturally as reactions to the challenges that we find, but how to learn new ways to work with these challenges. And today is, I'm going to dedicate this Saturday and next Saturday to preparing for the holidays in the sense of having the word holiday mean holy day, sacred times when we come together with loved ones and friends, or sacred times when we are alone and we know that the whole world in one way or another, there are different cultures that are celebrating at different times. In fact, Hanukkah has already happened, but there is this general vibe, this general energy of the years coming to an end and another year is beginning, and how are we feeling about all this? So it's very important, as we have said many times before, how we work with the ways that sometimes life hits us, and it's unavoidable that there will be some pain sometimes coming up, or that there will be also some disenchantment or unease coming up. And so that's the first arrow. And the very important thing we need to always remember is, okay, this hurts, this is difficult, but how can I work with this? How can even this be an opportunity to keep working with myself? And so that's what we are going to explore today. The other dimension that I'm bringing today, besides this idea that the holidays are moments for opportunities to keep working on ourselves, either in relationship to others and also in relationship to ourselves and the way we process what's happening in our life. The other dimension is that things are not just solved through reasoning about them or finding more information about it. The way we need to work is working with our inner space. And we know that when there are these challenges that life hits us with, like if it is the first arrow, our commitment is to immediately work with that one. How can I learn from this? How can even this be an opportunity to keep growing? And again, not just reasoning it, trying to figure it out in the brain, but being able to process it through the whole body. And we used to think that if the brain could figure it out, we could just solve it through reasoning. So neuroscience is telling us today that the brain doesn't just find out things and then inform us of what's the truth, but that the brain mainly is like a interpreter and amplifier of what's coming from the rest of the body. So if there is an ease at the level of the guts, that is going to be send as sensations to the brain, and the brain is going to interpret, oh, there is fear, we need to have more adrenaline, we need to get ready to run, to fight. Or if we, because of previous experiences, have a tendency when there is this sense of danger to close up, then we might disassociate or become numb, or just be there but not be there, which is kind of close ourselves totally up. So it's very important, the sensations that first are thoughts and emotions, the way we respond to the challenges, learning to respond instead of reacting, and knowing that we need to work through the body, through the rest of the body to the brain. And with all that, to our mind, and it's just like a Mobius strip, like a continuous strip that one fits on the other, and then it influences in turn to the other. And so we want to calm the body, to calm the mind, to keep calming more the body, and to keep unplugging ourselves from putting more charge into the negative thoughts and emotions, which they themselves tend to go to. I'm upset, and I'm so upset, and I'm getting more upset about being upset. And, it's just like the world is crumbling, and and we keep, multiplying that, when we can go, yeah, it's difficult, it hurts. There are worries, with different things that are happening right now in the world. And whatever is not in my immediate sphere of action, if I cannot do something about it, I'm just going to work mainly on my inner space. And so today we are going to work with how to prepare ourselves to the special challenges that the holidays bring. And today we're going to have more emphasis on the area of the abdomen. And next Saturday, we are going to work and have more emphasis on the area of the heart. On how to let go of these places where we get stuck with pain and with reactions that increase the pain and increase the unease and the discomfort and the judging, and judging others, judging ourselves. Okay. The special challenges that this time of the year brings is that we are supposed to be getting together with other people. And sometimes we do want to get together, and we do get together, but then some other tensions arise. Maybe we carry some unease meeting a particular person, or maybe we go hoping that everything will flow and everything will be just so loving, and then something doesn't quite go that way. Or maybe you don't like the place, or you are hosting and you are afraid of being judged about your place or about your food that you're offering. So many ways in which something cannot go the way we would like it to go. So first thing we need to know is something that Pema Chodron has said, the path that we walk has thorns. There will always be some unease, some problem that can come up. So what do I do when the path that I'm walking has thorns or little bits of crushed glass or whatever? I can either want to have a tarp that covers the whole surface of the earth so that I don't have to step on all of that. And that's impossible. That's the same that thinking everyone else should behave the way I would like them to behave. Otherwise, I cannot be happy. It's difficult to get everyone to behave the way you are expecting or whatever, even if what you are wanting is a good thing, and it's a fair thing and all that. But each person is in their own journey at that moment. And so the second solution that Pema Chodron offers for the path having thorns and a little bit of crushed glass is to get really good shoes with thick soles, so that then you can step without hurting yourself. And the way to develop those shoes so that you can step without hurting yourself is with these practices that we are going to be doing now. We are working with our inner space. We are not depending on the outer world to fulfill our expectations. So the first question that we could ask ourselves is, what unmet needs am I bringing to this day or to this situation? And this can happen, not only for the holidays, but in an interview, in whatever other kind of situations, in a difficult conversation, whatever. What unmet needs I know that I have, that if I look back, for example, at other years, let's suppose that this is not a question of being alone, but it's a question of going and meeting with other people. And you know that other years it hasn't been quite right, that something didn't work, and that you, after the holiday, feel annoyed, disenchanted, or even upset with yourself that you were not able to come up to your best, most generous, open way to relate, and that so after the holidays, the problem is there. So the other question is, after the holidays, how I would like to feel, after this opportunity of either meeting other people or being alone, how would I like to feel? And then from that, I would like to feel at peace. I would like to feel new hope. I would like to feel renew. I would like to feel in a better relation with the people that I'm meeting. Whatever it is that you realize that you would like to feel once the whole thing had finished because of what had happened during that time, then you have the motivation to work. Okay, this year I'm going to change something in my own response, in my own ways of relating, so that after the whole thing finished, there is a better feeling within myself, right? So first one, let me change the order. First one, how I would like to feel after these holidays. And then the second one, how can I contribute to this that I want to cultivate during the holidays, and understanding that if there are unmet needs and you come with those unmet needs, it's going to make more difficult the relation with other people. And it's totally fine to notice that we have unmet needs. We all have. But that will help us to be more attentive to when we get triggered. Okay, this person is not treating me well enough. It's making me wait too much, or is talking too loud, or is eating too fast, or is drinking too much, or whatever it is that they are, is saying things that I don't like. Whatever arises, we can be ready to work with it and see these people like Buddhas that are giving us opportunity to work with whatever comes up. Okay, so first one, how I would like to feel. Second one, what is my unmet need that I'm bringing in? And the third one is what in previous years has triggered me. And could be previous years, or it could be previous visits with relatives, or whatever it is that you are working with. And I'm for now only talking about being with other people. In a moment, I'm going to go to being alone. So we can just have these pointers and start noticing. And when we notice, let's suppose we are with someone and he or she is doing something that we don't like, we can take a break, go for a little walk, or go to another room if you cannot go for a walk, and for a moment remind ourselves of our needs. Like, okay, my need is, I feel the need to be loved. I feel the need to be seen and to be heard. I feel the need to shorten the distance with my loved one or my loved ones. And then realize that if we want to be loved, that's already an expectation, which then we cannot, of course, control, because we don't know where the other person is and what is part of their journey or how they express their love. So instead of I want to be loved, think about I want to be loved without the D at the end. So one is I want to be loved, and the other is I want to be loved. And that's begins by giving ourselves the love that we would like to receive from somebody else. So that already starts to fulfill a little bit the need that we have. And we can do it by bringing our hands to our heart and taking a few deep breaths and noticing our need to, like every human being, to experience love, and then giving that love to ourselves. Like if we are the older sister of that younger sister that's crying and that's wants to be included, and we are embracing different parts of ourselves, and start by loving ourselves, by knowing that, remembering moments where we have felt at peace with ourselves, and where we have been able to smile to ourselves even if we have some weaknesses, or and embracing and including ourselves within ourselves. I know it sounds maybe a little bit strange, but I think you probably realize that often when we have this deep need that is unmet, it's because somehow we are not giving it to ourselves. And that's the only space that we have some control or influence on. I don't like so much the word control, so let's say influence. I can plant and cultivate within myself some sensation of peace that comes from inhaling slowly and deeply, like sighing, looking at my needs and telling myself, I'm here with you. And noticing the need that makes us, that triggers us. And once we have breathed a little bit and found some grounding in our heart, and also taking our hands to our abdomen and having a few breaths, abdominal breaths there, finding a sense of grounding, a sense of self-acceptance. Knowing the whole process, what we bring from previous experiences and what triggers us, and what is that we really want in the long run, and how it is in our power to cultivate that right now, to give it to ourselves, regardless of what somebody else is doing. Allowing the body to relax helps the mind to relax. And it's this gentle process. So little step by little step. And visualizing a moment when we have been at peace with ourselves, knowing that that's our deepest nature. That loving awareness, that peace is our deepest nature. For that, it feels so good when we touch moments like that within our experience, that those moments don't have anything to do really with external circumstances. It's that suddenly we get to that space of happiness, of accepting the present moment without judging. At this moment, you are at home, you are safe, you are alive, you are breathing. You are nurturing yourself, integrating different experiences in your life and going to a positive experience and staying with it for a little moment longer, of being at peace with yourself, of knowing how that feels in your body, remembering a moment when you have been like that. So you know that if you have these slow, long breaths, and if you bring your hands in touch with your body, it invites your body to relax. And so let's say that doing that for a little while, you feel a little bit more relaxed. And then let's say you come back in the room, and as you look at the other person, you realize, or you remind yourself, this person also wants to be loved, also wants to be seen, and it has its own way, her or his own way to go about it. And maybe it's not what I would like or think is the best way to do it, but they have their journey, I have my journey, and for now I'm just going to give up judging, because my longest goal is to have an open heart as much as I can, and to have la fiesta en paz, to have the celebration in peace. And also because I know that I want to arrive when the holidays pass, I want to be in a state of peace. So I'm going to cultivate in as much as I can that state of peace with the people that perhaps other years I have close up around it, or that I was coming with expectations that things would be one way, they didn't go that way, and then I felt unease. I started to close up, judging others, judging myself, and then the whole thing didn't flow. So, in as much as possible, and we are all human, just remembering, how I would like to be afterwards. What do I want to cultivate now? What are my unmet needs? Usually they are around love, being seen, being appreciated, being safe. And then knowing that the other person also has those basic needs, just like me, this person, in her own way or in his own way. It's trying, but they don't perhaps know how to work on being peaceful. Now, the other big challenge in these holidays is, for many people around the world, is that they are alone. They are alone either because they cannot travel to see their loved ones, or the loved ones cannot come to see them, or because they have lost loved ones for COVID or other reasons. And these times of we are all going to celebrate in family or in gathering, it could be very painful. And so again, we remember that this is part of life, that often we are handled something that's not what we would have liked. And then knowing that we can do foregrounding and backgrounding. So the natural thing is that we feel the pain, the loss, the absence of our loved ones. And it's very natural that we would tend to go to that and keep unconsciously feeding that, which then becomes more and more painful. And and we go, why has this happened? Why now? Why to me? And that's one way of foregrounding the loss. And that's totally natural. That's what we naturally tend to do. The other way is foregrounding the further in experience that we have had, and then remembering the beautiful times, remembering, okay, everything in nature arises, manifests, and passes, and how wonderful that I had these people in my life. And I'm going to, if I want to cultivate something that doesn't keep depressing me more and more, for myself, and because I know that they would love me to also be as well as possible, I'm going to remember that they are still with me, and I'm going to remember the good times I had with them. And then just feel that continuity between the present moment and all these experiences that are already present in yourself of the times that you were with them, if you totally lost them. And if it is more like, okay, I haven't been with my son for a year and a half, or the pandemic is just sucks, it'd be good to be together. Okay, trying to foreground how wonderful when we were together, and how wonderful that we still have Zoom, and how it's painful, but let me see how I can work with this for my own health, and honoring them, and celebrating their presence in my life for the time that they were here, or that they are still here, but a little bit distant. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a bit of a long way is, the most important thing is not what's happening around us, because if we depend on the circumstances that are around us, then we are always lacking. There is nothing we can do about what life does or is, but there is a lot we can do about our own inner space. And so the way we respond to that arrow that life has hit us with, and how we can, hit ourselves with other arrows, or become aware, this is really not helping me, this is not helping them, this is not helping the situation. Let me see how I can slowly take this arrow out, which still hurts, but I'm not proliferating the stacking of, in as much as I can, in whenever I remember, in whichever way I can, I'm going to try to not proliferate this. So we are going to do some movements with that. And we are also going to do some massage and some breath about that. And I was saying that in a way, all this is also like a process of digesting and assimilating. So life puts things in our plate, and then they come in us, and then how do we work with that? Sometimes they seem to get stuck. I don't know about you, but when I get stressed, I immediately go towards constipation. Something gets stuck and it's difficult to get it moving. It's just like, it's there and it doesn't want to come out. And of course, then that generates more toxins, and there is not such a good space for further digestion and assimilation. So something we can do, and for that I was saying, digesting and assimilating from an emotional point of view and from a physical point of view. Of course, good diet is important. If you can sleep, that's also good. If you move and exercise, that would also help with all of these, really, the emotional and the physical. And there are also some massages that we can do. I want to share with you a massage that comes from Qigong And that's done at the abdomen. And it's really nice to do laying down. So I don't know if you can see me if you lay down. So I'm doing it standing, not standing, sorry, sitting. Because if I lay down, I don't think that you can see the movement, but it's really, really lovely, even more lovely if you are laying down. So maybe you can get the idea and then practice it laying down. So we are going to find our navel, for me to be like around there. And then we are going to be working with a little bit above the navel and under the navel, and then with the ascending colon, transversal colon, descending colon, which is the path of our large intestine. And of course, we can always use our full hand, just our healing hands. We rub our hands and we can massage and feel the grounding, the attention at the hands that are doing the massage. Okay, that will be one for grounding, and then switching that attention to the sensation inside of the abdomen being massaged. So that's what I mean by learning to work with attention. What do we foreground? So here is just mainly the hand, the full hand going around, massaging, following the path of the ascending colon, transversal colon, and descending colon. Okay, so let's do it one more time. We can also use pressure with that part of the palm, the heels, I think, of the palm, and massage, doing a little bit of pressure with that as it comes up, and then as it pushes gently. I mean, this is not about how hard you push, but how present can you be with the movement. Okay. And another way of massaging is using your middle finger and having your index finger near it. So we are going to have these two together, and we are going to do like a little scooping. So almost like if you would follow the edge of a little spoon, a teaspoon, and also you are almost scooping there, just like a little bit more pressure with your middle finger, but very gentle. And so we are going to start, we have the navel, we start like 4 finger press above the navel. If you have just eaten, then just look at this, but don't mess around too much with your large intestine. This is more for when you have already, like 2 hours have passed, or maybe 3 hours, even better. And it's really great to do at night when you are already laying down, as a way of starting to familiarize yourself with all this area of the abdomen, and maybe helping a little bit your digestion. So we put these two, the middle finger and the index finger, and we go like 4 finger breath above the navel, and start just kind of sensing there like a little scooping. You are bringing your attention totally to the tips of your fingers, and you are trying to sense what's underneath it. Like you are looking for any place where there could be a little bit of a hardening, something seems to be stuck there. Sometimes when you're working like this with the space above your navel, and even eventually as you come to your navel, you jump over the navel and go immediately under the navel, also doing this gentle scooping. Sometimes when you are in that area, you start feeling like gurgles. What happens is that there was some air trapped there, and as you gently massage, it loosens up and it moves and eventually comes out. So you start first here. These areas we know also has to do with the Manipura chakra, the area around the navel, and with our presence in the world and our relationship to ourselves, the dialogue that we have with ourselves. So on the one hand, we are working with massaging gently the area that would help uh, let pass and let go of what's not helpful anymore, whatever it is that you want to move out of your body. And on the other hand, it's also kind of noticing any possible stagnation that could be there. Okay, so we start a little bit above the navel and we go with this gentle massage, feeling the hand doing it, feeling what's under the hand. This is my navel here, and then jumping over the navel and very gently noticing there whether it's bloating, constipation, whether maybe there is some point that hurts a little bit. If there is that, don't press too hard there, just accompany the whole area with the hands and rest for a moment. And now we are going to notice the aliveness, the circulation of blood and chi there. Let's have a few abdominal breaths, allowing the whole area to expand. And then as we exhale, letting the abdomen come in towards the back. This is again great when you are really laying down like this, and it's just, you can sense much better the movement of the abdomen as you inhale. It comes up, and as you exhale, it just goes down. And you start feeling this sense of relaxation that expands through your whole abdomen. Like right now, I'm feeling some little noises inside. That's interesting. Something is moving there. Okay, so we always take a little rest to allow the whole thing to rest and to sense whatever is we're feeling there. Now we're going to go to the beginning of the ascending colon. So here are our inguinal crevices, and then we are going to start there and gently doing this scooping, knowing that we have a path here that comes up, which is the path of our large intestine, just kind of accompanying whatever process is there and using the tips of our fingers to try to familiarize ourselves whether there is something there that's stuck and that we are loosening up by increasing circulation there of chi and blood and coming up all the way there. Okay, so one more time from near the inguinal crevices and then up. You might like to just use your whole hand there to just, I find that using the index finger and the middle finger, it's a little bit more detail. Again, don't force anything, don't press a lot, deep, deep, deep. Just, you're mainly bringing your attention there and helping things to move. So once you come up your ascending colon, then you get to the transversal colon. In this, relating to what we were saying before, I would think, okay, this is similar to what am I bringing to the situation? Ascending colon, as I get to there, what are my unmet needs? What are the ways that I tend to get somehow stuck in my expectations, in my judgment, etc. So here, let's say you are at the situation itself, the transversal colon, and you are kind of remembering and trying to let go of the ways you have chosen that high expectation road, this one here, that it wanted a good result, but that in fact is bringing some stagnation and emotional constipation or whatever you want to call it. How can I flow? How can I accept the diversity, the variety of situations, of journeys, of whatever, and in as much as I can, without judging myself, try to move from my need of being loved to my potential and my possibility of being loved without the D. Okay, so let's say you move along this road. You can also massage with the heels of your palm there, gently loving yourself, loving your abdomen, loving your guts, being with yourself. All this area here of the abdomen has to do with our presence in the world, with the way we talk to ourselves. So, okay, I'm getting you. I'm getting that there are some needs, there are some triggerings, there are some ways that we have reacted before, and maybe we want to change a little bit how we reacted. So, I love you. We saw your ups and downs. Let's see if we can soften this and make it a little bit more um, open to acceptance. Okay, so we travel this high expectation road, and now we are coming here to the descending column. And so, okay, so I'm going to let go. This is what I just don't want to repeat again. This is what I want to let go out of my system. And so I go in the descending column, which is you came ascending column, transversal column, and now you're coming down with what needs to get to your rectum and out of your system. This is just a little reminder and an invitation. And it's like we have said before, it's a never ending journey. We always, there is something that we can work a little bit with. And this again is very nice as you're flat. You can have, if you like, your other hand accompanying on top of the one that's massaging, but not to press hard, just to be there. Or you can have it by the side to create some kind of a frame by the side of what you are massaging. So maybe this is something that you like, and that after you finish doing it once or twice, you again do this general massage. And then leave your hands here for a moment and notice the aliveness there. If these seem too complicated or something that doesn't particularly attract you, then just have your hands on your abdomen, massage this way, and then at some moment stop and then have abdominal breath. The abdominal breath is just a wonderful, wonderful massage for the area of the guts. And it brings a sense of relaxation. So when you have this sense of opening and relaxation, the digestive organs work so much better. Your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, everything works better when we are able to relax. And again, if you are laying down and you just for a moment be like this, maybe with your legs bend, you can notice even more the movement in the abdomen, just allowing the whole thing to feel more fluid, more softened. There is a beautiful meditation that's called soft belly meditation, where you are laying down And you have your hands there at the belly. And you are following the movement of the abdominal breath, which is when you inhale, the abdomen comes up. When you exhale, the abdomen goes out. Inviting your whole body to relax and inviting your belly to become soft. Sometimes we carry contraction in our guts from different experiences that we have had. So inviting the belly to relax, soft belly, letting go of that contraction, of those hardships and hardenings. And you can imagine a white light bathing your abdomen and cleansing it. And every time you exhale, you can imagine that whatever was stuck there, like dark vapors, is leaving your cells and being dispelled. Inhaling, the white light bathes your abdomen and relaxes it. Soft belly. And with every exhale, you kind of visualize your cells expelling this dark vapor, whatever had been accumulating there. You can bring a gentle smile to your lips, and then let that smile travel down to your heart. And keep traveling to your abdomen. Like if your abdomen was one of those smiley faces, your tummy is with a big smile. And if for whatever reason that visualization didn't work for you, no problem. Just come back to the sense of breathing, the movement of the air, the sensing of the warmth of your hands gently resting on your soft belly. Two or three more breaths. Okay. So also massaging our kidneys in the back, the stomach and spleen in the left, the liver and gallbladder in the right. And let's do just one or two Qigong movements, which you already know, but we are going to now do it with reference to what we were talking today. Okay, so we stand with the feet shoulder width apart, body straight and relaxed. The head perfectly balanced over the sphere of the chest, and that sphere perfectly balanced over the sphere of the abdomen, and this unbroken column of energy running through the center of these three spheres. So we feel ourselves standing straight and relaxed, arms relaxed. We feel the connection of our feet with the floor, maybe moving a little bit forward and backward, the body like a bamboo in the breeze, and noticing the whole contact of the feet with the floor. We raise a little bit our toes and then come down with the toes. And one more time to feel the whole support that the earth offers ourselves. And then we are going to practice these, which are favorite of you and also of me. The wise owl lets go of pains and ailments. And it's as we feel the support of the earth and we have the knees slightly bent, we inhale, we bring the hands and arms up in a relaxed way. Then we bring them towards our body at the same time that the head moves to the left and looks back. And we feel the opening of the front of our chest, and we bring slowly the head to look forward, and the hands are going to push down, finding ways of releasing and experiencing the support. One more time, we are inhaling like if we are trying to be here present in the present moment, and the head goes, the attention goes, let's say, to the future, looking at the right, and then we remember, oh, I want to come back to this moment to let everything settle and relax. So inhaling, we are in the present moment. Now the head goes to the left and we are remembering the past and regretting some things, whatever. We just remember, I want to come back to the present. I want to cultivate grounding. I want to cultivate letting go so that I can be peaceful in a natural way. So we are not judging ourselves for our head going to the future with expectations, worries, whatever, but we choose, instead of keeping the head that way, we choose to let the head come back to the present and then combine with the exhalation and allowing everything to settle. One more time, inhaling, totally relaxed. Notice the stillness within the movement. So there is movement, but you are going even deeper, noticing that there is an attention there that can focus in the stillness within the movement, in the peace that there is as you move and relax into the movement. And then when the hands are resting and the movement has finished, we notice the aliveness within the stillness. Which is this enormous potential that we always have for awareness, for loving awareness. And now from that loving awareness and that alive stillness, it's going to come again a movement that has a stillness within it. And this one is the white crane spreads his wings. And we are bringing the hands up. Then we bring our left hand towards us, like we are contemplating the process that we are in with love. We bring it to our heart. And then at some point we decide that, okay, and I'm going to create some more space. So I move the hand that way. And then I'm opening myself to new perspectives, to feeling the support that this moment and this place is offering, support from the earth and from the heavens. I also feel this opening in the area of the abdomen, right? As one hand pushes down, the other pushes up gently. And then I'm ready for new perspectives, new ways to look at others and to look at myself. I spread the wings for new beginnings and allow my body to totally relax and come to stillness. I feel the aliveness within the stillness. From there, this contemplative move comes of raising the arms and notice the stillness within the movement. So the movement is still happening and I'm observing it. I'm exhaling, pushing away, inhaling, opening myself to new perspectives, feeling the support that's always there one way or another if I tune into it. And then opening myself to these new perspectives, into coming back into balance. And feeling the aliveness within the stillness. Let's just do it one more time, last time. Inhaling, exhaling as we bring the hand towards us, and keep exhaling as we invite this, let go a little bit of that, not fuel it more, and then opening ourselves to new perspectives as we inhale. In a relaxed way, again, feeling all this so much more open. And then opening to new perspectives, new acceptance of myself and of others. Allowing my body and my mind and my whole organism to relax. Inhaling. Now I bring my right hand towards me. I look at the process with compassion, integrating as I exhale, and I keep exhaling. And then I inhale, opening myself to new perspectives, feeling that extra space at the area of the abdomen, the diaphragm, trusting that the support is always there from the earth and the heavens, and sometimes from people around, but mainly giving it to myself. I open to new perspectives and allow my body to relax and my mind and spirit to come to experience peace. Feeling the aliveness within the stillness, we bring the hands together to the forehead, feet together. We connect with the blessing in our life and give thanks for that blessing. Staying with it for a moment. Breathing it in all our being, in all our organism. Thank you. Thank you for being alive, being able to breathe. And bringing the hands together like in prayer, we lower the hands to the heart, and we send to someone who we know might be struggling right now or some different challenges. We send her or him peace, our love, our peace, and it multiplies. As we contact it first in ourselves, and as we offer it to somebody else and we send it, we visualize the person being bathed with this light, with this love, with peace. May your burden be lifted. May you experience peace and good health. And this is what we always do at the end of our practices, to remind ourselves also that whatever we learn and whatever we practice is not just for ourselves, but it's because we are all interconnected, and we can all support each other in these subtle ways and loving ways. Thank you so much for being here today. I also rest in you. Thank you.